Iran up in flames as Donald Trump declares ceasefire. This is quite interesting, honestly. But the Iranian regime have denied ceasefire as escalations and bombardment from the Israeli Defense Force continues to wreak havoc across the Tehran and other regions of Iran. This is coming in the eve of declaration by Donald Trump that there has been a compromise between Israel and Iran to embark on ceasefire in the next 6 hours. But that is quite very unfortunate that Iran has denied any official notification in that regard. This is what Donald Trump has to say regarding what he believes is an agreement between Iran and the Israeli government. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now. What Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended officially. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24 hours, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it did not and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. These are the statements attributed to Donald J. Trump. But meanwhile, reacting to this statement from United States of America President Donald J. Trump, this is what the Minister of Information of the Islamic Republic of Iran state media has to say in response. The ceasefire proposed put forward by the US President Donald Trump is completely false. Wow. No official or unofficial ceasefire proposal has been received from Iran. In response to these media fabrications, the Islamic Republic of Iran will, within a few hours, demonstrate the falsehood of this claim to the Zionist regime through direct or non-direct or on-the-ground actions. Wow, this is quite interesting, honestly. The Republic of Islamic State of Iran, the Tehran regime, has disclosed that it was merely a fabricated statement coming from the United States of America's president. Now, another person reacting to this, according to sources, said reports of a one drone attack now against a third military site in Iraq, with Balad Air Base to the north, claimed to have targeted following drone strikes on both camp and the Camp Victory complex. This is in response to the argument or claim by the Tehran regime, citing that there was not such that was witnessed. Well, this is quite unfortunate. White House Israel has agreed to a ceasefire as long as Iran refrains from future attacks. Wow, that is quite interesting. Could that mean that Iran has the military capability to also carry out retaliatory assault on Israel? Well, here is what another news outlet has to say. Israel is preparing for the possibility that Iran will fire heavy missiles barrages before the ceasefire goes into effect. That is quite interesting. Whatever be the case, it's been a long, protracted war, but not minding its short lifespan, it has led to several casualties, monumental disaster, as the Tehran regime continue up in flames. This is very worrisome development, as some believe that the end of the war has come. But unfortunately, there are still speculations and uncertainty in governing the entire arrangement, leaving the air of doubt and disbelief among member states. Well, it is quite interesting. Let's go through the statement of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Islamic Republic of Iran state media. It says, the ceasefire proposal put forward by the US President Donald J. Trump is completely false. No official or unofficial ceasefire proposal has been received from Iran. In response to these media fabrications, the Islamic Republic of Iran will, within a few hours, demonstrate the falsehood of this claim to the Zionist regime through direct and on-the-ground action. Well, that suggests correctly that the Iranian Republic or regime is making further preparations for retaliatory attacks or to launch barrages of missiles against the Israel occupied territories. What people have expressed concerns that this possibly could degenerate to an endless war. Another question to review is, does Iran, after these barrages of bombardment and airstrikes, still have a military capability to carry out assault against Israel? Well, perhaps Israel have expressed such doubts that there could be possibilities of Iran springing up surprises in the matter of hours before the ceasefire proposal could come in effect. It's quite a very disturbing development. How long will this continue? The Middle East has been one of the most troubled regions. Will they ever enjoy peace, or is this part of the end time prophecies coming to fulfillment, as some persons have argued that these are part of the end time prophecies coming into fulfillment in our own time and days? We are witnessing the winding up of another dispensation of human existence, and it is quite a very disturbing development. And nobody knows what could be the next line of action, because uncertainty have enveloped the entire sphere and surrounding the alleged ceasefire proposal, which the Iranian government has denied any notification or knowledge of such, describing it as false fabrication, which must be vehemently resisted. citing possibly they will not succumb or agree to such a development. Well, whatever happens, in a matter of hours, we'll get to know whether Iran, of course, possibly could launch any attack because they said in that review that within a few hours we will demonstrate to the Zionists the falsehood of this claim. Well, that they're going to respond direct and on the ground actions. The ground actions expressing willingness to continue the battle, the war, the confrontation, the aggression, the hostility, and possibly the intention of hitting Israel the hard way. Well, could it mean there are other secret missions or missiles that is outside the knowledge of Israel? Possibly, if Israel could detect any threat, they would definitely go after it. They will not spare anything to keep their own citizens and occupied territory safe. So it doesn't matter whether there is ceasefire proposal or not. Once Israel understood that Iran possibly will want to launch barrages of strikes, definitely they will go after any facility or capabilities within Iran to decimate them. This has been an interesting moment in the history of humanity. Honestly, it has sent this very disturbing message. It is quite interesting. In another tweet, Donald Trump had to say this: I had like to thank the highly respected Emir of Qatar for all that he has done in seeking peace for the region regarding the attack today at the American base in Qatar. I am pleased to report that in addition to no Americans being killed or wounded, very importantly, there have been also no Qatars killed or wounded. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. Prior to this proposed ceasefire agreement or proposal, American base was attacked, but then there was no casualties recorded, as been expressed by Donald Trump, thanking the Emir of Qatar for the promptness and response to ensure that the people is safe. It is quite a very interesting moment, honestly. But how long shall we continue in this endless war, fighting for supremacy and dominance? Well, is it not time to give peace a chance? Well, some have argued that if you need peace, then you have to prepare for war. The best way to defend is to attack. Would that be the reason why, after Israel considers the statement of coming from the Tehran regime as a threat to its existence, of course, would not want them carry out such brutal genocidal intentions and has to go to silence the enemies before eventually they could carry out their intentions of annihilating the Israeli occupied territory or possibly making it inhabitable as they have submitted ab initio. Iran foreign minister publicly denies that Iran has agreed to a ceasefire or cessation of military operations with Israel, but states that if Israel halts further strikes against Iran, no later than 4:10 a.m. RST, then Iran will not retaliate militarily any further. It is currently 4:24 a.m. in Tehran according to the time zone. Wow, this is quite interesting. That if Israel's escalates its military escalations, operations, and bombardments, definitely that will usher in for a ceasefire. That is the position or argument being raised by the Tehran regime. Well, possibly let's see how that goes, whether it is fabrications or possibly there could be a compromise reached between Israel and Iran. Hopefully that they will find a common ground to allow peace a chance to reign. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more political discourse.